Sword and Shield PC.
So I'm just gonna
Last round for first.
It's been a day. I will say I
need
used up
caffeine.
all of my luck for 2020. Your girl just caught a shiny Sylveon in a dive ball for aesthetic reasons. Thank you. Yeah, aesthetic reasons.
All right.
Only. So we've got Jonathan, who's going to be Sparky BGC on your left, and Allan, also known for most of you as Mando, on your right. So we've seen both of these teams. You just saw
Sparky
on here, yeah. And then we've already seen Allan earlier today in his match against Dina. So as a quick refresher course, here are those teams again: Rhyperior, Ludicolo, Bronzong, Togekiss, Pelipper, Snorlax, and on Allan's side of the field,
we're gonna have Tyranitar, Togekiss, Gothitelle, Arcanine, Gyarados, and Dragapult.
Yeah, and the fun thing about Allan's Gothitelle, and this is the first time I'm gonna say this, it's the only time I've ever seen Imprison used to a great degree, right? Like, he used Imprison against Dina's Hatterene, so that lockdown Trick Room, like, took away that option from her.
He would, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he definitely would.
Allan!
That means that if Jonathan doesn't know that, he's gonna be in for a rude surprise if he's got Trick Room.
Kind of wish you hadn't said anything, because I want to be in for the surprise too. I'm not playing.
Well, hey, that's why I have to tell you, because I saw it. So I'm like, hey, this is what I remember from what's going on. So the fun thing about here too is, like, whoever wins this wins our first PC, and that's pretty intense. So we've got Togekiss, Snorlax, and Gothitelle, Tyranitar. What year are we in, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, obviously, you know, you've got the chance for the G-Max Snorlax. Gothitelle has been Dynamax before on Allan's side. So really just kind of a lot of different options. Togekiss could go either way at this point. I think we'll just see a follow me so he can try to set up. Does he have a belly drum? I'd like definitely.
Snorlax, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, Snorlax can belly drum. Togekiss can follow me. And Gothitelle apparently can imprison too. That's great. This is
it might not be as useful in this scenario because of the fact that, hey, Gothitelle doesn't really share a lot of moves with either Togekiss or Snorlax. The hard part though is Jonathan won't be able to withdraw any of his Pokemon because of that Shadow tag, which is what I'm assuming Gothitelle has right now. Could be competitive for all we know, right?
But here we go. Allan is going to Dynamax his first Pokemon. Let's see who's going to Dynamax. I assume Tyranitar. Gothitelle? Tyranitar, yeah.
He did Gothitelle at one point, so it's just like, whatever Pokemon you first Dynamax in front of me, I'm going to assume you're Dynamax.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption. So, of course, Tyranitar is, now that's a real Godzilla right there.
Yes.
That is, yep. But Togekiss is going to follow me, use that redirection. Snorlax will most likely belly drum. Max Rockfall is going to come from that Tyranitar and completely knocks out the Togekiss, meaning any of that redirection is not useful anymore.
Yep, fine. You tried your best, Togekiss, so that's all we ask of you.
Gothitelle does go for that Imprison.
What does it share? What do they share together?
That is interesting. I have no idea.
I guess he didn't really have anything else that he wanted to use in this turn. But Snorlax is able to set up the belly drum, which is going to be a little bit important for it. It's going to be able to eat that berry as well. He can go for that G-Max, for the Gigantamax Snorlax next turn. And Gothitelle and Tyranitar are going to have to work really hard to take it down, especially if Snorlax has... Actually, you know what? Yeah, it won't be able to use that move at all because Imprison seals the moves that it might have Shadow Target, right? So if you lock Bronzong away from being able to use Trick Room, Jonathan is going to be in a little bit of a pickle. Like, he has to worry about the fact that his Snorlax can't really, like, use the most to itself, right? Like, so Snorlax can't really deal as much damage as it wants to because of the fact that, hey, Trick Room can't be set up, but Tyranitar is like, let's go, I've got this. I've got, like, Gothitelle by my side. As long as, like, Gothitelle is on that field, Jonathan's in a little bit of trouble, right? He needs to get rid of that, and he needs to worry about the firepower that Tyranitar is going to bring to this battle as well.
And of course, we do know that Bronzong does have Trick Room. It does have Ally Switch as well, but that Gothitelle is coming out, going to be switched back into his Togekiss. And Jonathan is going to go for that G-Max Snorlax.
The Torterra replacement.
Yes.
Like,
let's not.
Poor Torterra.
I have so many things to say about that Torterra. And none of them I want to say on an official stream. So of course, G-Max Snorlax, as we said, Tyranitar is going to go for the defensive move and go for the max guard. Bronzong coming out with that Ally Switch. Here we go.
I mean, you know, I think that's interesting because Max Darkness with that Snorlax is going to go straight into the Togekiss, which was a fantastic switch on Allan's side, kind of expecting that. He understands his Gothitelle is one of the more important Pokemon on here, so I think that's a little bit difficult because now you have burned a turn with your Tyranitar going for the Max Guard, and you're going to have to figure out how to come back from that on your last turn of Dynamaxing, right? Snorlax still has pretty decent HP right now. It did recover that HP from its berry after the Belly Drum. Bronzong hasn't been touched at all. I don't know if this Togekiss has a fire type move. We've seen a couple of them running around with things like Heat Wave, with I think Flamethrower every now and then. So jury's up in the air. Jury's out on that one for right now.
But Bronzong is going to switch out into that Rhyperior. We do know this Rhyperior does have weakness policy. Togekiss is going to go for the Heat Wave, misses a Snorlax onto that Rhyperior, does exactly 20 HP. Tyranitar is going to go into Max Darkness onto that Rhyperior, taking a little more than half.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that like Allan is going after the Bronzong and Jonathan understanding that is switching out that Bronzong, trying to keep it safe for later because it's going to help the best for that sort of defensive play with Snorlax, right? If you keep that Snorlax around, you can get triggers off later or anything. Then you're going to at least try your best to be. Oh, it found the berry. Ooh, that's rough for Allan.
It did find the berry, and it did knock out Togekiss as well. Sandstorm coming in and rocking some HP from everyone. Yeah, Allan's gonna come in with his Gyarados.
Yeah, it's smart that he's like, it's nice that he has the Intimidate version of the Gyarados because now at least Snorlax can if you can try to switch your Pokemon around a little bit and not worry about the damage from Snorlax, then you can try to mitigate what it got from that Belly Drum. Rhyperior, you're gonna have to want to be careful as well because if you can't knock it out in one go, you're gonna have a scary Pokemon on your hand, especially because, like you said, it has weakness policy. So we've seen throughout this day, and like for anybody who's been playing like in either the weeklies or on ladder or anything like that, you've seen Rhyperior with something like weakness policy. It is absolutely terrifying. It just rolls over your team.
And Gothitelle is going to come back in. Rhyperior is going to go for that Protect. And let's see. Oh, Dragon Dance. Oh,
that's a move.
That is a move.
I was not expecting to see that actually because it's. Yeah, I was definitely not expecting to see that. Yeah, it does get the plus attack and the plus speed, which is going to be really beneficial for right now. Oof.
And Replenish is going to take out that Gothitelle.
Yeah, it didn't find a berry because Snorlax currently has its berry right now, but Tyranitar taking the opportunity to go for that plus attack and that plus speed. At least, again, now Allan is going to get another Intimidate off, so -2 for both, for Rhyperior and +4 now still for Snorlax. So Allan trying its best to at least figure out how to navigate this because I think at the end of the day, if you get Rhyperior and you get Snorlax out, then we got it. Then at least what you can do is you can take care of the Bronzong on its own, right? Bronzong by itself is not really anything. It needs a Pokemon to support for it to have any sort of like kind of heavy weight to it.
And you know that Rhyperior is not looking real good with that Gyarados coming out.
Well, and like the other thing too is Jonathan's team is very Trick Room dependent as well, and Allan knows how to play around that. That's why he has the Gothitelle in prison. And so I think the thing here for Allan is like, hey, take care of Snorlax, take care of Bronzong, because later on you're going to be playing those ally switch trick like games, right? And if he goes for, oh man, if he had gone for that crunch into the Bronzong, he might, if he can knock out this Snorlax right now, he might like actually
have a shot.
If he gets the flinch. If he gets the flinch here.
Oh, he does not. Snorlax goes into Facade into that Gyarados. And it completely knocks it out. Unfortunately, I don't think there's really anything Allan can do right now to come back.
If he has Rock Slide, he could take care of the Snorlax, right? He has a chance, unless Snorlax gets an attack. The problem is Bronzong's in a perfect spot to set up Trick Room to guarantee Jonathan the win, because now he does that. Tyranitar's already at +1 speed, and the thing is, you've got the Rhyperior in the back, and what it's going to do is it's going to come in, it's going to be faster than the Tyranitar because of the fact that it has that
but
that berry.
It goes in with Tyranitar's crunch does go in with the Bronzong berry. It was a Colbur berry. Snorlax is gonna use Recycle, getting his berry back and having a snack.
Yeah. That's actually, yeah. Sorry, Alan. That's
Yeah,
actually,
I think that's going to be game. But I think that does get Allan a lot more information for game 2.
The most information he should be taking from that is that Bronzong is bad news. You need to take that Bronzong out as soon as possible, and I think that means we're probably is a reach, but it means we'll probably see Pelipper and Arcanine from Jonathan and Allan respectively, because if you're Allan, you're like, you need the Arcanine to deal insane amounts of fire damage to take out that Bronzong. I don't think we know if it's heat proof or levitate in this case.
It's levitate.
It's levitate? Okay,
it's
cool.
levitated because it was not getting hit by earthquake.
Okay, cool. So it's levitate. So at least it'll go down to a strong fire type move, right? You can max fire with Arcanine, you can flare blitz with Arcanine, either one of those two. And then if you're Jonathan, you're like, okay, I need Allan. Oh no, sorry, Jonathan. My bad. So the thing you're gonna try to do there is you say, hey, if he has a fire type Pokemon and he knows Bronzong is like the core of my team, you can bring in what Bronzong, Snorlax, Rhyperior, and then instead of Togekiss, you bring in Pelipper. So that way you constantly have a chance of setting up rain, of making sure that any fire type moves are going to help impede any damage for Bronzong. But I mean, that means if you're Allan, then you're like, oh hey, Tyranitar is excuse me, is like one of the more important Pokemon that you're gonna have, right? And like, I think it's hard to break away from sort of like that Gothitelle didn't exactly, I think it did things, it just didn't do enough, I think, to justify its spot in this next match. So,
I think it was a little bit badly timed, too. I think had Gothitelle waited a couple turns on that Imprison, maybe that would have helped. But of course, I feel like we never really know.
Yeah. So, I think Al's gonna have to really consider his options here, because that Bronzong, I think if you underestimate it, it supports Snorlax extremely well, especially because of the fact that it has Ally Switch, and like that's a really tough, like we've mentioned it before, like it's a tough move to play around, right? Like the minute you see that, you start having to double think all of your options. You're like, do I go for this spot? Will they Ally Switch? Will they know? Will they think that I think they're gonna Ally Switch? Like, what do you do from there? And I think that's the hardest part about something like this, where you're just like, I don't know what to do. Like, how do you stop a Pokemon like this? And the answer is you might not be able to. And I think Allan, the best thing he can do is cycle and Intimidates, right? And if both Arcanine and Gyarados have Intimidate, I think that's one of those Pokemon you can bring in. Like, you bring in your heavy hitters, so maybe Tyranitar, Togekiss, Arcanine, and Gyarados, right? And then you try your best to like follow me, switch in Intimidators, and just make sure that your Pokemon are always making it so that if you do use Belly Drum, if like Jonathan gets Belly Drum off, that he pays a heavy price for it.
Yep. And Allan is going to lead with the Tyranitar Togekiss. Jonathan is going to lead with his Rhyperior and Bronzong. So of course, we already know this Bronzong knows Trick Room, it knows Ally Switch, it has Levitate. Rhyperior is a weakness policy. I think have we seen Togekiss's item?
That was like 6 hours ago. So no,
yeah, okay, we can't remember.
But now you've got the interesting choice of which Pokemon is going to Dynamax, right? If that Togekiss has a fire type move, you can go for that, go for Max Flare, and then you have to play is he going to choose Ally Switch on this turn? And you don't know, because that's just one of those stuff.
Yep, it looks like Jonathan is going to go for the Dynamax right away. I assume Rhyperior, and of course, weakness policy again. Once you get that weakness policy off, Rhyperior is very, very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon that like you look at it and you're like, if you can't take it down with like non-effective moves, then you're gonna have a really rough time, right? So,
but that crunch going into that Bronzong with that Colbur Berry is gonna be like a fourth. Air Slash going back into that Bronzong. It might be Rhyperior using that Max Quake onto that Tyranitar. That's gonna completely knock it out, unfortunately, and I think it does put Allan in a bad spot.
Yeah, that's gonna be really rough for Allan. Like, I find it interesting that I find it super interesting. Yeah, like that that Bronzong has like the Trick Room up now. So the problem is Jonathan's in a really good spot to just kind of steamroll, right? Because if Allan didn't bring anything like a Gothitelle to like be able to maybe reverse the Trick Room later on, then he just has to rely on something like that, right? You Dynamax the Gyarados, maybe you go for you have to be really careful because if Max Geyser doesn't like
KO, it is going to proc that weakest policy.
So it is kind of tough. I think there might be enough chip on Togekiss for Max Rockfall to knock it out, and then Allan doesn't
But he's also taking out that and he brought in Dragapult, which I think is very interesting.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And he's gonna go for the Dynamax.
Yeah, that is gonna be a Dynamax Gyarados, so that'll be okay. I mean, Allan's gonna fight his way to try to get through this match, but it's gonna be a rough battle. He has to stall out the turn. He has to get rid of that Bronzong before those turns are over, and he cannot afford to lose another Pokemon at this point. Like, despite the fact that Gyarados and Dragapult are good Pokemon to have, if he doesn't get rid of some Pokemon right now, did he?
And he did it again. He procced his own weakest policy with the Gyro Ball.
I love that. That's really.
Rapier is gonna go for the Max Ball. Max Rockfall onto the Gyarados, and yep, that's it. That is very unfortunate for Allan.
Watching like it. I mean, procking your own like berry weakness policy, anything like that. It's not something we haven't seen before. But the nice thing about using something like Gyro Ball is the fact that it's based off of the speed differences. So both Pokemon, it's not going to do as much damage as it would normally, right?
Yep.
And that's one of the things you always have to think about as well. So it's nice having Rapier and Bronzong paired next to each other for that explicit purpose. Because if you know Allan's not going to try to hit you with a super effective move, you might as well do it on your own. Especially if you know you're going to be the fastest Pokemon on the field. Like, that is insanely smart, and I'm sure it's a tactic that we'll see people try to use every now and then, especially when they're like, hey, this is the best way I can do it. Because
Dragapult also has Ally Switch. Today I learned Dragapult learns Ally Switch.
You and me both.
Bronzong is going to go on that Gyro Ball, which was meant for that Togekiss on that Dragapult. Rockfall with the weakness policy on that Togekiss.
Yeah, there's no way that thing survives it. Yikes.
I don't know if Allan can do anything at this point, unfortunately.
Allan can admire his shiny Dragapults and be like, hey, I'm gonna win next week.
Yep.
That's honestly, yeah. Today.
And Allan takes the forfeit, unfortunately.
Yes.
Miguel.
Yeah, that was intense. So, I mean, congratulations to Jonathan for winning the first event. For the first event of the new format. I mean, that is like, not something some people can say sometimes, but that was, dude. I mean, that was what, like, almost undefeated. Yeah, Jonathan, you went undefeated, right? Sick.
Oh wow,
so, pretty good. I mean, that is gonna be it from us tonight.
That's it. We're done. I think
we did it.
Yep. So
I say we. Miguel did it.
Yes. So
I just sat here and cast matches today, guys.
So here we are. That is the end of our first day of our new format. I do know.
Next week.
Yeah, we're gonna do it all next week.
Next week, this background will not be here. We will be at the Esports Arena in Santa Ana. It is one of my favorite places to be at, you guys. It will be in mid-season, so we are hoping to see a bigger turnout than today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. There is your winner.
There's our
right
winner.
Now, undefeated for our first
coming back after a couple months. Good job.
I was gone for a while.
Good job. Yeah.
So thank you guys for all watching us, for just coming out to hang out. Thank you for everyone who went to support all of your events today. It is, again, super heartening to see how much you guys are getting into this format, and I have just a lot of excitement and a lot of hope
it's going to be so much fun.
Season. So I hope to see, if you're watching this and you are in the SoCal area, or you're anywhere in like the like LA, maybe a little bit north, but mostly like Orange County, San Diego area,
come hang out.
Please come see us next week, the mid-season. Come play with us. We would love to have you guys. As always, you can check out Pokemon Labs. Got it. So close. You can check out PokemonLabs.com for any information about any events we have upcoming, or you can follow Miguel at Pokemon Labs on Twitter. And we'll see you guys next week. So, bye guys.
last one.